free to leave.
No, I'm not leaving my son in your hands with your hand on your gun.
He's not free to leave. You are.
You are free to go give him a ticket. If he ran a stop sign, it's no point for this.
You're correct.
You have his driver's license, registration, and insurance in your hand. You just looked at it. You're trying to question if he's on probation or parole because he's a black man?
Hey, do not get out of the car.
What?
Don't get out of the car.
Sure the camera's on.
Yes, please do.
Yeah, we are.
It's an officer safety thing.
Driveway.
It's an officer safety thing, okay? So driver's license and insurance. Go ahead and close the door for me, please.
It's my son's safety. You got enough safety gear.
Okay.
You the one with the guns and stuff.
Well, I have no idea if you have guns and stuff too.
Oh,
so the reason I pulled you over, sir, is because you ran the stop sign back there, okay?
Oh, sure.
All right.
Side of the court. They like to kill people, but not my son.
Ma'am, can you step up front, please?
No, this is my property.
You're actually on the sidewalk, so that's perfectly fine. Sir, can you come on back here,
No,
please?
he cannot. No, he cannot. Give him his ticket. Give him the ticket.
You're on probation or parole or anything?
No,
like that,
he's
sir?
not.
I'm talking to him.
Are
you on probation or parole or
answering
anything
for
like that?
him. No, he's not. Give him his ticket.
I can speak to him, ma'am.
No,
Are you on probation or
Tell
parole?
her you refuse to talk to her. Give her your
I
ticket.
refuse to talk to you.
Okay, I need to know if you're on probation or
No,
parole.
you
That's
don't.
the only question.
You have the driver's
If
license.
he's on
Go do your
probation,
job
he
and
needs
run
to
it.
answer me if he's on probation
He's
or parole.
not. He's not, so he don't have to answer you.
I have the ability to identify him.
You have his driver's
You
license.
have his identification.
Skyly, go get my phone. You have his ID. Go run it. You got your phone on you?
No.
I'm recording right here, and you're welcome to request it.
No, we're gonna record. Hurry up. You have his ID. Go run it. He don't have to answer any questions. Give him his ticket.
Insurance 3-2. I'm out with 3. I'm stable.
Not today. Not my son. Go inside, Skyler.
Go inside.
You could go give him his ticket. He's not answering any of your questions.
That's fine.
Give him your ticket. This officer is right here harassing my son. She already has his driver's license, registration, and car insurance in her hand. She's asking if he's on parole or probation, and he has to answer her. He said, no, he's not on parole or probation. I said, go give him the ticket, and she will not. She's just standing there. What are you waiting for, ma'am?
I'm waiting for my partner, ma'am.
For what? For a traffic violation?
Traffic stops are one of the most dangerous things.
Okay, but you're making this dangerous. You're escalating it. Go give my son his ticket.
I will.
And we will take care of this in court. You will not be the judge and executioner on this property right here.
I'm on the sidewalk.
You will not. Go give my son his ticket. You have his
ID.
You can easily run his ID and see if he's on probation or parole.
You're correct.
Not this child.
You're correct.
Then go do your job. Why are you standing there? Why are you holding on to your gun? Why?
My hand is not on my gun.
Your hand is on your gun.
It's
Your
on my belt.
hand is on your gun. Go run his ID.
Do you understand how violent you're being right now?
I'm being violent?
Mm-hmm. You're being verbally aggressive, yes.
No, I'm not being verbally aggressive. You will not change this up. You will not create the narrative here that we've been seeing on the news. If he ran a stop sign, that's what you're saying, we will happily take the ticket.
Okay.
But I will not allow my son to stand here in front of you with your hand on your gun. That will not happen.
Well, he can't. He's not free to leave, so he's going to stand right there.
He's not leaving. He's
not leaving. He's standing right here.
You just told me that you weren't going to allow him to stand
My son is not leaving. No, he's standing on our property line. We own this house.
And that's exactly
he's standing
where I
on
want him.
our property line. You said he ran a stop
That is correct.
Go give him the ticket.
I will in
and then
due
you
time.
can leave.
I will in due time.
In due time. You guys, she done called for backup and everything. Y'all share this video because my son will not be the next hashtag. Not gonna happen. If you're not gonna give him the ticket, we're not gonna stay out here.
I am absolutely going to give him a ticket.
Then go give him the ticket.
He is detained right now. You're free to leave.
No, I'm not leaving my son in your hands with your hand on your gun.
He's not free to leave. You are.
You are free to go give him a ticket. If he ran a stop sign, it's no point for this.
You're correct.
You have his driver's license, registration, and insurance in your hand. You just looked at it. You're trying to question if he's on probation or parole because he's a black man?
I ask everybody that question, ma'am.
You can run his name and go give him his ticket.
I will.
But you're not. You're not. You said you fear for your safety, but yeah, you could go to the car and give him your ticket, and this shouldn't take longer than 5 to 10 minutes. But you're not. My son will not be the next hashtag. It will not happen.
You say I'm free to leave. We on our property.
You free to leave off our property, because if you slip and fall on this property, guess who's liable? It's us liable. So you're not gonna give him the ticket?
I'm waiting for my partner, as I told you.
No, we're giving you reasonable enough time
and that is a reasonable
identify
time.
him.
That is a reasonable time.
Don't fold our paperwork. Please don't damage our paperwork. We're giving you a reasonable enough time to identify him. Look, y'all, she got his license right there.
And again,
got his license right there and still got a hold on to her gun. Got his license right there, but she still want to ask to identify him. Tanea, she's calling for backup. She calling for backup for whatever reason. Like, he literally got pulled over when we came outside. How long do you plan on just sitting here staring when you could go give him the ticket?
Had he stayed in his car and you not come out, we probably would have been done by now.
No, you probably wouldn't, because I heard you on the radio yelling at him. I heard you on the radio yelling and screaming. That's why we stepped outside. I heard you. My son will not be victim to you guys. I'm sorry. It will not happen ever on my watch. Ever.
I'm sorry you feel that way.
Go give him the ticket. And look, you got 5 minutes to go give him the ticket, or else we're going inside.
He is detained.
No,
you are welcome to go inside.
If you're not going to identify him, give him the ticket, we're going to go inside.
You can go inside. He's detained. He cannot leave this premise.
He's not leaving. This is all ours.
He cannot leave where he is standing.
This is all our property.
I
He
understand
is not leaving.
You're correct. He is not leaving.
No, because he's at home. He's not leaving. You are the one that's going to leave. Look, you're blocking traffic. You parked right in the middle of the intersection.
It's actually not an intersection, it's a street.
So you want to be a smart ass. Tanea, it's hard to calm down when I got a black son with the cop right here with her hand on her gun. We're in Elk Grove, California, in front of our own house. This is our house. She said she's not leaving. He is detained. She think he on probation or parole because he's another black man. Why don't you Google who he is?
Because for your information, we not all on probation or parole.
Right.
Never been on it.
We're not going inside. So are you going to give him the ticket? How long we been out here now? 10 minutes? Because Jessica, she said he ran a stop sign, but she kept on questioning if he's on probation or parole. He said no. She refuses to run his information to give him the ticket. So now she's just standing here. She don't call for backup. And you see, this is what I tell you about white people. Don't trust them. And it's a damn shame that we can't trust the police. That's Brooke Scally calling. She probably scared. She ain't gonna take her eyeglasses off. She's scared to take her hand off her gun. No, he looked like he on probation or parole because he a fucking black man. And my husband is recording it. We all out here, not on our watch. They think they gonna kill my baby? Not gonna happen. Not gonna happen.
Over an alleged.
Oh, right. Over alleged ran a stop sign right there, and she pulled him over, and he was pulling in the driveway. No, because you're not racist. That's why, Rochelle. That's why you don't think that they all think like that. Because you're not racist. So it's a difference. But just to update you guys, this officer is holding us up. We in front of our house right here, in front of our house, pulled over my black son, yelling, "Are you on probation or parole?" He ran a stop sign, but yet she is refusing to give him a ticket, but he is detained, and she's just standing there. And that's what's going on right now. Now she done called for backup. That's what's going on right now. She don't know who she messing with. And they have the nerve to have on a Blue Lives Matter mask. Have the nerve to have on a Blue Lives Matter mask. Y'all please watch this, because she is refusing to give my son a ticket and has her hand on her gun.
What's her wrong thing to do?
Give him the ticket. My son would not be another one of y'all hashtags. Y'all, I've been in the bed all day with Icy Hot, Flexeril, Motrin. My back went out on me, and now I'm dealing with this.
George, 3-1 from 3-2.
She said 31350. We gon' Google that. Thank you for recording. It's our neighbor on the corner.
What was your EQ?
She said he ran the stop sign, but she won't give him the ticket because she thinks he's on probation or parole, but she won't run his license. Give him the ticket. We'll fight this in court. It's not even an issue about the stop sign. We will literally fight this in court. She says that I'm escalating it. She's escalating it. That's exactly what I said. Thank you, Rochelle, for the share.
Get her tattoos on her hands. See how she's trying to cover them up?
Y'all see them tattoos? She just trigger happy. Look. She just trigger happy.
What's your address, please?
Here, tell her the address off the camera. We're trying to understand. Running the stop sign, she has all his documents. Why? No, I'm talking because you didn't want to talk to us. Why hasn't she wrote the ticket so we can move on?
If you could just stand by them.
She has car registration, insurance, and driver's license.
I have no idea what they have on them.
Okay.
Insurance. He has never had a police interaction before. Doesn't know. Just hang up with them because they're not gonna help. She was already being sarcastic. So I told him to get it out. Hand it to her. She comes out with her hand on her gun. I said, "Come stand by me. My son would not be another hashtag." I said, "Okay." She said he was ran a stop sign. I said, "Give him the ticket." She just stood there, and then her hand was on her gun. Just constantly on her gun. Her finger was itching like this. And I'm like, "Give him the ticket and we'll take care of it in court." Not a big deal, right? We've been standing out here for at least 10, 20 minutes. I said, we've been living in Elk Grove forever. We have never had this type of police interaction before. She called for backup.
What's your first name, dear?
My first name is irrelevant.
Well, I just want to talk to you like a person.
You could call me Miss.
Okay. So, you understand this is not an ordinary interaction, right? So
How is it not ordinary? She pulled him over, write the ticket. She was asking if he was on probation or parole. He said no. She said, "Are you sure? I need to know if you're on probation or parole." He said no. She said, "Well, if you're on probation or parole, you have to talk to me." He said no again. So what's not ordinary about that? That a black man is not on probation or parole?
the unordinary part is that you're in front of your own house and you're out here screaming at.
No, hold on. I'm not screaming. I'm talking.
Okay, you're worked up, right?
With hold on. You're not gonna patronize me, Officer Robinson, badge number 195.
Is that ordinarily when somebody gets pulled over, okay, they provide their driver's license, registration, insurance. The officer goes back, figures out, make sure they're not America's most wanted.
She didn't do that. Okay. So he did that, but she didn't do that.
See, you're elevated and yelling.
No, I'm not yelling.
To go back inside the house.
Because that's the ordinary
But this is our house,
course
so
of action.
she can't make us leave our house.
No, you're right. Nobody's asking you to leave. But when people start
She can't make us leave him here by himself.
When
He don't know how to deal with this.
How old is he?
He's 19 years old in a senior at Sac State in a double major and a master's student right now at 19 years old. That's what he is. He is my black son. Look, y'all, another cop.
Do you understand?
And look, another one. No, she said immediately that she feared for her life. We've been asking her, we've been recording the whole time. Go write the traffic ticket. We will handle this in court.
The traffic ticket.
We will take care of this. She didn't even run his name, accusing him of being on probation or parole.
When did he step out of the car?
He stepped out of the car when she was back there.
Okay, so that's where the safety issue happens for us.
She's the only one with the gun, ma'am.
Yeah, as soon as somebody steps out of the vehicle, it becomes a more elevated situation.
But it's only elevated because she refused to give him the ticket, y'all. Now she's in there, right? He's in there writing the ticket. All our neighbors were out here videotaping her because they all seen her hand on her gun. I'm in my pajamas. He in his pajamas. We are no threat to her. She's the only one with weapons.
Right, so again, the biggest elevation there is as soon as he gets out of the vehicle, then we have to take precaution as far as calling for a second unit.
Then she should have stayed in her car. She's the only one with the gun. All we asked for was the
She
ticket.
never said anything about calling another unit. She said
No.
she told us to go in the house.
And we said we on our property line right here. And literally, if you guys were to fall on this sidewalk, you guys could sue us.
But it's not unusual for her to ask you guys.
But it's unusual for somebody to keep their hand on their gun for a stop. All we're asking for is the ticket.
Okay.
That's all we want.
We don't know anything about you, right?
But we don't know anything about you. She got tattoos covered up and she pulled over my black son. The only thing we know will become hashtags, not this one. I invested too much. All we want is the ticket.
He's a good kid, right?
She thinks he's on probation or parole. That's what she kept on saying. Just because he's black, he is not on probation or parole.
Okay. All you want to do is scream at me. I'm trying to explain to you.
It's nothing to explain. All we want is the ticket so I can take my son in the safety of our house. The officer told her to stand by and watch us.
They got K9 unit and everything. Next is coming to the SWAT team.
It's crazy.
The K9 unit went to the other call. He's just writing a traffic.
I have never endured this with Elk Grove PD ever. Ever in my life.
Georgia 11, expired as of
All their hands right. Look at, hold on 1 second, I gotta get this turned. You notice, don't nobody have their hands on their guns any longer, except for her. She's the only one that felt threatened. Go ahead.
I don't. Isn't that a municipal code? No, I totally wanted to.
Oh, no.
That was actually what started this whole thing, because I pulled him over, and he pulled to the wrong side of the road, and I PA'd for him to pull to the right, like 3 times, and he ignored me, and then he hopped out of the car.
Y'all should not. Are you going to give her the ticket? Okay, my son can go inside. He can sign for that ticket. He Wild Wild West over there with her gun. Yeah, because nothing makes sense, because I just had so many viewers on Facebook and they watched the whole interaction. And so they know none of that made sense what she was doing. So I understand, ain't nobody gonna say she was wrong. I understand that, but can you walk over there and get that ticket so I can get my black son in the house?
He has to go sign for this ticket.
No, I want her to bring it over here. He will sign for it, and he could go in the house because she still has her hand on her gun. And my son will not be a hashtag.
Hey. Yep.
So lies. Everybody's texting me so lies. Can you take care of that? I do not want her close to my son.
She's an officer now. She wrote the ticket. She's going to present the ticket.
Here's your items back. Alright, I need you to sign the citation, please.
Have your son go and sign it.
Get your right hand.
Why are you holding this up?
I know why.
You don't want me on your property, remember?
That's not my property.
Sign right here, not admitting guilt, stating you know you have to get taken care of by 12/14 of
Y'all took
20.
all these officers over here just to get a ticket. Go in the house that way.
I gotta give him his citation, please.
I'll take it.
I do have to give it to him.
Tobias, take the citation. If you could please dismiss yourself from my property, Officer Johnson. Walk in that way and walk in the house and check on your sister.
Okay, so the way this all went down is I was doing a stop sign over there.
I'm trying to hear what they saying.
Initiated a stop sign violation. He pulled to the right. I PA'd for him, or pulled to the left. I PA'd for him to pull to the right. He refused to, and then he hopped out of the car when these two came out. So I was basically like, I'm overnumbered.
So who's the driver?
He just stepped aside. He signed a citation.
Okay. All right.
So basically, I stood here because they refused.
So you see how she's trying to cover herself right now, y'all? I'm sorry the live went dead earlier.
She's all yours.
Okay. So, what are you guys doing?
So the problem is the behavior of your officer. Officer Johnson, badge number 297. And this is Jacobo, badge number 147, you guys. When my son was pulled over, I told him to get his driver's license, registration, and insurance. He has never been pulled over before, never had an interaction with the officer. Okay. He got up the car and asked me, was this it? She was still with her flashing lights because we didn't know if it was him being pulled over, but I was like, I think that's him. So that is you. So he said, is this it? She started yelling, are you on probation or parole? Get back in the car. And I'm like, whoa. She's coming over aggressively with her hand on her gun. I put my son behind me. And I said, what is he getting pulled over before? He has to answer my question. Asked it 3 more times, is he on probation or parole? He said no. We all said no. Why would you think he's on probation and parole? At this time, she has his ID, his registration, and his insurance, and she stood right there where this officer is, and actually, she was actually acting like a servant of the community, where this officer was, and she had a staring contest for about 10 to 15 minutes. And we said, well, if he ran the stop sign, give him the ticket. We'll take care of this in court. She refused to give us the ticket. She said her life is being threatened right now. And she tried to use the different type of verbiage that you guys use in the police reports to add extra charges, saying that I'm verbally attacking her. Not once did I say anything offensive. The only thing that I ever demanded for was for her to give him the speeding ticket and for her to get her hand off her gun because she's the only one out here with the weapon. And yet, she is still the only one out here with the weapon. For a traffic violation, I've been in this city for a long time. I have never seen this many cars come. I have never seen one of your officers act in this type of demeanor that she has acted in. And then she was being aggressive with my son, and then she refused to give him the ticket. And that's all we asked for. She said he's being detained. I said, you have about 5 more minutes. Look at the air quality out here. It's hot. I'm sick. I shouldn't even be outside. And she's making a standoff over a stop sign because she thinks he's on parole or probation, and she refused, as one of your officers says the protocol is, for her to run the information. She didn't even call in his name. She didn't call. She called for backup. She could have seen that my son is an honor student, 19 years old at Sacramento State in the master's program. And that's what I was upset about. She should have just gave it to you. What if I wasn't here? She's aggressive. She's trigger happy. She's ready to snap the button off of her gun to try to hurt my son. I don't appreciate that, and I would like to file a formal complaint against her.
So is there, I mean, do you have any questions about the traffic stop or any of that?
Her actions.
Okay.
We can deal with the traffic.
You guys can.
We can deal with the traffic stop in court. That's what we told her. We would deal with that in court. But you would not sit up here and hold her.
So the name of this video is Whose Fault Is It? This is a very interesting video because it's actually a lot of different ways you could look at this when you asking the question of whose fault it is. My personal opinion, I think both parties had faults. I do think the mom is the one who originally initiated the whole situation to happen like that. But let me say that I don't feel like anybody could blame her. If we're looking at the times we're living in right now and what's going on with us as African Americans, what we're going through, I feel like she has every right and had every right to react like that. I do feel like she was a little bit too aggressive. I don't think she gave the cop a chance to really give her a reason to be that aggressive. I think she came out overly aggressive from the beginning, but I feel like she have every right. You know, if anybody try to act like the elephant in the room doesn't exist, then you know, of course, a person will say she was wrong, but it does exist. I mean, throughout the history with our race, we have been going through being unfairly victimized by police throughout the history. You know, we know of her things, Rodney King beating, we know Trayvon Martin, you know, I'm not gonna name him, but even up to this day. And if we look at the last 6 months alone, 6 or 8 months, look at how many things, how many situations happen with us as African Americans. So I feel like she could have been, you know, she probably was that aggressive out of being fearful and also out of just some of the pain that she's probably feel from the, you know, last couple of the things that happened within the last couple of months. So just with her, I do feel like that she had every right to react like that. The cop, I feel like she felt challenged from the beginning, and I feel like she felt that she needed to uphold some type of standard because of her being a police officer. I feel like she didn't want to just give the ticket and get back in the car because she felt like she was disrespected or being told to do something. And if anybody know, the average police officer likes to be the one to be able to tell you or feel like they're an authority. Anytime they feel like their authority is challenged, then they react in different ways. And I think that's what happened with her. I mean, she could have just wrote the ticket and gave it to the son and went about her day. Her excuse is that, you know, she feel like she was threatened. How did you feel threatened? You can clearly see that the father and mother are coming from out of their home with their pajamas on. They don't have a weapon on them. And what did they do to make you feel threatened? You know, the son got out of the car. He didn't go up on his shirt. He didn't run or anything like that. She had the information. She knows where the family lives. So if anything, you can't use that excuse. It wasn't like she put them over on the side of the freeway and she didn't know if they was hop in the car and drive off, or she didn't know if they was gonna reach in the car. And like, they're at their home. You know, so what's the worst that could happen? Somebody run in the house, you call back up, y'all surround the house. Like, so the officer definitely, in my opinion, was in the wrong also. I feel like that she purposely stood there because she wanted to find any way she can to irritate the situation even more. I feel like that she did feel disrespected, so her thing was just to stand right there to try to show that she didn't, you know, have to do anything or didn't have to rush the process. Call for backup. I think it was no reason to call for backup. I also think the officer should take in consideration as well everything that's been going on and within our race, especially within the last year. I think she should have took that into consideration. And she could have took that into consideration, but she didn't want to. Personally, if I had to say, do I think the officer was being racist? I'm gonna say yes, and not just because of the situation, but one of the things that she said that made me feel that she was a racist cop is when she asked him, was he on probation or parole? She claimed that she asked everybody that. We all know that's not true. I don't care what nobody say. You don't pull over a senior citizen, especially Caucasian, maybe Arabic, senior citizen, woman or man, and then when you walk up to the car, ask them, are they on probation or parole? We know you don't do that. We know she don't do that. We know that she don't do that. I think 70% of the time that question is asked is asked of a black man. I think maybe a couple, maybe different situations, they might pull over a Caucasian guy or Arabic guy, and if you got tattoos or if you look kind of like the type that would be doing stuff like that, I think maybe they might ask the question every once in a while. But overall, let's just be straight up real about it. You don't ask everybody you pull that over. So let's be real. If you pull over a Caucasian girl or boy, and they hop out with a suit on and their hair done and looking like they just came from handling some type of business, you ask them, are they on probation or parole? No, you do not. She did have on a Blue Lives Matter mask, and I do personally think that that mask is disrespectful towards Black Lives Matter. A couple of reasons why I feel like that. I mean, Blue Lives does matter, as well as Black Lives, as well as you know, all lives. But the reason the Black Lives movement came about was because of how we were treated as a race and being disrespected as a race. So anything that came out after that, I don't care what anybody say, in my personal opinion, is disrespectful to our movement. So if you would have came out with Blue Lives Matter 5 years ago, 6 years ago, or you would have came out with All Lives Matter years ago, then that'd be a different type of perspective. But for you to wait until Black Lives Matter movement comes about, and then you start naming other things, Blue Lives Matter, I feel like that's a direct disrespect, which is in a way to where it's basically saying, I mean, it's true, Blue Lives Matter and White Lives Matter and Mexican Lives Matter and, you know, Arabic, like all, like, you know, but it's the reason behind it. You know, you're basically saying, we know what y'all going through, we know what y'all went through over the years, and we hear y'all cry out loud about y'all lives mattering, but as well ours do too. So it's basically saying, when you say but, is when you put that mask on or make the new movement, is saying like but. So that's saying but is like pushing a situation or idea to the side. We know that y'all were abused. We know that over the years y'all been treated unfairly. We know that y'all been, you know, killed and shot in the last 6-8 months. We know everything that happened. But okay, you don't say a but on that. That's very, very, you know, disappointing what we go through as a race and what we have been through as a race. So you don't say but behind that. You don't add your own movement behind the movement that we created, which is a cry out for, you know, attention of what we go through. So for you to say Blue Lives Matter and to you know, make a mass supporting that, knowing that blue lives are the main lives and main reasons that we got the Black Lives movement going, to me that is kind of like a racist, and it's kind of ignorant. It's kind of like you know, you saying, you know, I understand what y'all going through, but I don't care because it's still about us too. And one of the things I noticed was, I do feel like she was wrong for saying, this is what I told you about white people. When she told her son, see, this is what I mean about white people, you can't trust them. I don't feel like she was right for saying that, because not all white people are racist. And not all white people are bad. It's actually just like how our race have good people, all races have people that's not racist. So for her to tell her son that, I don't think that was right for her to say that. I actually had a couple of friends as a kid, you know, and that was white, that was best friends. Their mother treated me like I was a son of theirs. Throughout my experience of life, I've had white people treat me just like I was a regular person, didn't treat me racist, you know, or like I was different. I've had people that was white pick me over people that was white, you know. So in different situations, you know. But I do feel like she was wrong for that. And I also feel like for him to have that mindset, if he have it, you know, that's going to prevent him from succeeding in life, because we all need each other, you know, in life. All races need to work together. So if he had a mindset about white people, it's going to prevent him from going to certain places. But I do feel like you should be, as a black person, I feel like you should have your eyes open when you're dealing with people outside of our race. I do feel like that, because we do have people that are very racist, and that can lead us to danger or some type of harm. I think the guidelines was followed by the parents, you know, but I don't think it was followed by the officer. I think the officer prolonged the situation for no reason at all. I think the officer did make that situation way worse than it had to be. Let the mom be angry as long as she don't come in your face, as long as she don't put her hands on you. You know, as long as she didn't call you out your name, or just let her be angry. Give the son a ticket and go about your day. And I heard the cop, she did mention that she was calling back up because she don't know what the people can do to her or stuff. But by you standing there prolonging it, you could have sat in your car and called back up. You were in front of their house, you know, the car was parked, nobody was running. You could have went and wrote the ticket, and if you felt threatened, you could have. Why would you? So basically, you're standing in front of somebody with your hand on your gun. They're not doing anything to insinuate that they're going to try to harm you any type of way. You're standing there for 10, 15 minutes just with your hand on your gun, saying you feel threatened. So basically, and calling for backup. But if you really feel threatened, why not go get in your truck and call for backup? Why are you standing in their face with your hand on your gun? They're not doing nothing. You feel threatened. That's a direct sign of in my opinion, of unfair treatment from a cop to a civilian, and racist treatment, in my opinion. So that's all I have on this video. And when it's all said and done, you know, I don't blame the black lady for feeling like she did, you know, out of fear and out of anger. I do think the cop should have handle herself a little bit more professionally, a little bit better. Take the license, registrations, go run it, bring them their ticket, go about your day. Cop escalated the situation when she didn't have to. Like, subscribe, comment on any topics you might want me to cover. And that's all I have for today.